Hey everybody, it's Beth. Welcome to Infinite Garden. About a year ago, I bought with my own money the Shark FlexStyle device and several attachments. I did a whole review and first impressions and demonstration, and I said in that video that I would circle back after I've had more time to use it. My first impressions can sometimes vary a lot from how I end up feeling about a product after I've used it. So I've been using this now pretty much every time I do heat style my hair, which is, once a week roughly. I've been using this all year and I have developed some opinions about it and its attachments. I just filmed myself blowing out my hair today. I'll show you some of that footage and I will also provide some of my specific insights about this tool if you're still on the fence about whether or not you want to get it. If that sounds good to you, please stay tuned. When you buy this particular device, you get to choose a la carte the other attachments that fit onto the device. So the first thing I wanted to show you, this attachment is one that in my original review I wasn't sure if I was going to like. In the end, it's turned out to be kind of an MVP for me. It's why I don't always love first impressions. I really love to get reviews when people have had a chance to really live with something. So this is the attachment I'm talking about. It has a flat back, and then it has a combination of short bristles and long bristles. So I'm going to show you how that works on these portions of my hair to get a really nice straight effect. So far the attachments have held up well and the machine has worked perfectly. I do put it through its paces, so I haven't had any complaints at all about the machine's performance and the quality level of its construction. I think that it is a good solid device so far. We're 1 year in, that's all I can say. I would say this is about 80% dry. There's still some moisture here at the root, but this is how smooth you can get hair like mine with just this one-sided brush. It's still a little damp at the root, but that's okay. I'm going to just continue to apply the brush directly against where it's damp with, minimal pulling and tugging. There's a lot I like about this design. I really like this color, this kind of neutral pewter platinum tone. I think it's really nice. It fits in with my general aesthetic, so I appreciate that. I also find that the buttons are easy to see and to use. It's easy to understand. So this is the kind of effect you can get with that one-sided brush. I know sometimes you can, wrap the hair around and this becomes quite hot and that can have a bit of a smoothing effect as well. I tend not to do that because I find that for me, when I do that, I tug a little too much on my hair. I'm sure somebody could do it without doing that, but I tend to tug a little too hard. I find that the nature of this particular styler, because you're just brushing through it the way I'm using it, that I am not tugging as much on my hair as I am in other circumstances. I have found that overall, I have converted from being an oval brush user primarily to this flat brush. And the reason why is again because of the tugging. What I've been doing more often, honestly, is I do finish using the roller wands. And I'm going to show you that here. One of the things I've been doing, I talked to my stylist about this because it occurred to me this summer I made a video using old-fashioned heavy. One of the things I've been doing, I talked to my stylist about this because it occurred to me this summer I made a video using old-fashioned heavy plastic rollers. I like using rollers because you can get a great effect with minimal heat damage, but sometimes you don't have time. Sometimes a roller set takes a little bit. So what I've been doing, rather than just using this roller barrel to make the Farrah Fawcett waves you see everybody doing, I've been trying to mimic a roller set using this. So like if I was going to make a roller, put a roller here and have it rolling down or up depending on whatever I wanted to do, I try to recreate that motion at this stage when I'm about like maybe 95% dry, really dry, but still slightly damp to the touch. My hair will curl up again at this stage if I don't do something to finish it. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when you do put this barrel in like a roller and how you can mimic a roller set effect. Maybe in the end this is indistinguishable from the Farrah Fawcett situation, but it changed the way I think about it, and thinking about it like a roller, like where I would put rollers, has made me use this more and use it a little bit differently. I don't know if that's helpful to anybody or if it even makes sense, but that's kind of what I've been enjoying about having this. And of course, they go up, one goes one direction, one goes the other. So I found a lot of times like I can just switch it to the other hand and hold it differently rather than constantly switching out the barrels. The barrels do get super hot. All of these attachments get wildly hot, and that's just something you have to learn. There was more than one time when I grabbed the barrel of the wand and really hurt myself. So like, word of the wise, that's a thing, but I got used to it over time. Okay, that's the bottom half. I'm gonna finish up what I have on top here. So now I wanna switch heads, for instance, and so if I want to get this off and put the brush with the back on, I have to be really careful to handle it right here. This barrel is super, super hot. So you know, depress this button and then you can get this off by holding it here. That's safe. You have to put it someplace where it can cool off. Just for fun and because it's good, I'm going to use the round brush a little bit on this next set, and I'll check back with you when I've finished a big chunk. So this is how it's looking with the round brush. The round brush works really well. Really, the only reason I use it less is, like I said, it's because I tend to tug too much. And while I was using it again, I remember how I used to know I was tugging too much. And it's that I would literally pull so hard. I put so much hair on this brush and pull so hard that the head would pop off. It would pop off of this mechanism that holds it in place. And it happened a few times, and I was trying to do better and use less, smaller chunks of hair, but it continued to happen. And I find that when I use the brush with the flat back, that doesn't happen. This might be a unique problem to me as someone who has coarse, thick hair, lots of it, very strong. And my whole life I've been breaking barrettes, breaking combs, breaking brushes, my whole life. I lost 2 combs and a few clips this year due to that. And so I know that I'm capable of breaking a hair tool. So I discontinued it for that reason. It's still a little damp right back here. I have found a little bit that since using this tool, my end result is a little bit more open to humidity and maybe gaining curl than when I used to use the Revlon, the pink and black one. That tool is much, much hotter than this Shark tool is. My hair would really seal up during that process and I could get, a really straight look that lasted several days. I do find that, and maybe it's the way I'm using this particular tool, but I find that, my hair takes a little bit, there's a little more to dry with it. I always use it at the top heat. And I find that even still, sometimes I could, imagine it being just a little bit hotter, but it does get probably too hot for many people. Just for me, I can handle this heat level. I do find that the end result sometimes will gain in wave. I live in a humid climate, and so it's not uncommon. It's drizzling and snowing right now. It's not uncommon for my blowouts to become a little bit more wavy and full of body by the end. Okay, let's finish this up. I'm gonna stick with this round brush. Okay, this is where I need to see what's left. It's not totally dry yet, it's getting puffy. So after all that, I still have quite a lot of dampness around my crown. This isn't the worst thing for me because it can help keep my hair from getting too flat against my head, but it can also really open the door to frizz. So I think what I'm gonna do right now is use the rollers to dry up some of this hair and introduce some curl. So we're gonna go for some big time bounce. I will say, I've never fully mastered which roller is gonna go up or down or what it's going to do. I'll grab one, I'll look at the arrows, and I'll think I will know which way it's going to roll up my hair, and I'm often surprised. I haven't quite grasped it fully yet. Okay, so that had the effect of giving me both some curls and drying the crown of my hair. So I'm gonna let these cool off before I start messing with them, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. This is what a Shark blowout looks like. I'm going to go add a little bit of oil, and I'm just gonna like zhuzh this a little bit, and I'll be back with my final thoughts. So this is the final result of today's blowout. I feel like this is really a typical blowout result that I get with the Shark FlexStyle. I feel like it's a little imprecise. I don't think it looks salon grade. I do think it looks a bit home done. This is kind of common. Sometimes I'll get a little bit of movement again at my roots. That is a result of my hair texture being what it is. So if your hair doesn't behave this way, this won't happen to you. But that is different from the result I would get from the Revlon, the One Style. I would find that it was so hot and did such a powerful job of smoothing out my hair that I ended up not having that result. So I guess what I'm saying is that I think this is a little bit gentler on the hair, and I think that my hair texture shows that difference. I do think that it's a good device. I'm glad I bought it. It's actually been useful to me, and I like having the attachments. I've enjoyed having the curling wands more than I expected to. I kind of caught myself by surprise a little bit by really digging into the big hair. My hair has a tendency to want to be big, and in that video when I reviewed it the first time, I had this dawning realization of what big hair in my life could mean, and I've fully embraced that. So I would say my favorite part about the Shark FlexStyle is that it helped me embrace big hair again, which is something that I enjoy. After a year of near constant use, I can say that this has worked out really well for me, and that's just my opinion. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. It helps my channel out a ton. I certainly appreciate it. And if you want to hang out with me again, be sure to subscribe. I post videos on Sundays. Anyway, I hope you are all doing well out there, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Thank you so much for watching. Talk soon. Boop.